Here we go. Okay. I think I got it done. Got it taken care of. Should be starting here in a second. Okay. God, man. There we go. Okay. OBS was being like a dig. I had to uninstall it and reinstall it again. Like, thank you, OBS. You're the easiest software to work with when you work. But hopefully you guys can hear me fine. Let me adjust the volumes on this, the things on this a little bit. Oh my god. Man, this track. Holy shit. Hold on a second, hold on a second. Let me find this for you guys. Oh my god. Let me find this track for you guys. The beat on this track is... Man. Let me make sure this is the right one. Oh my god. Listen to this. Listen to this, guys. Listen to that song. Click on that link. That song is... Anyway, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Comics and Coffee, our weekly Q&A, where I fill you guys in and talk to you guys and answer questions that you have about me or comics or so on and so forth. Also, make sure you guys check out Comics and Coffee, or not Comics and Coffee. Make sure you guys check out Rob Explains. What's going on? I don't mind waving. Make sure you guys check out Rob Explains. I have a video on there right now about the different lightsaber colors, what they mean, and there'll be a video coming up tomorrow about why people loved Heroes so much, because Heroes is coming out this week, so I'm really, really psyched about that. So we'll be doing like a bunch of Heroes stuff. Yeah, that track is sick, man. It's like I need to talk to whoever. Well, I need to find out who made it and see if they'll let me use it in a video. But if you guys are interested, here's what I'm listening to at the moment. You guys know I always try to give you guys a rundown on the songs that I'm listening to, or like what I'm listening to when I do my live stream Q&A. At least I have recently, anyway. And so since YouTube allowed us to start posting links, so there you go. Anyway, for those of you guys who were curious, Rob Explains. Oh man, you'll find the link for Rob Explains down in the description. But in case you don't feel like scrolling down there, here is Rob Explains. There you go. Yeah, I'm really psyched about Heroes. Yeah, Heroes is really, really good. But yeah, I'm gonna be going through and say like why people loved Heroes so much. Who's Matt Parkman? Who's Hiro Nakamura? I think I might make videos on that, like, you know, what the circumstances that led to them gaining their powers and so on. But yeah, like man, this beat. Oh my god, man! See, I love these hip hop mixes. So questions. Am I excited for the Luke Cage series? Yes, I am hyped for Luke Cage. I'm glad we're back doing this again because we missed it last week and it feels like it's been forever. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for the Luke Cage series. I think the Luke Cage series, the great thing about Netflix is they can make the shows so dark. They can make them much darker than you would normally see with basically like any kind of, you know, film coming out. And that's the great thing with with Netflix is you can get away with a lot more because it's a subscription service. It's not network television, you know, and so they can do all different kinds of things. My coffee was water. I don't have any water with me right now. I'll probably have to get some here in a second. But oh yeah, you guys do only have audio left here. Hold on a second. Let me fix that. Audio. Force microphone. Okay. The audio should balance here in a second, guys. But anyway, so let me grab some water real quick. I'll be right back, you guys. man. Okay, we are back. Geek and Sundry was fun. Like Geek and Sundry was really really awesome. I will say this, like when I was in LA, like it was overwhelming. You know, it was Robwood AFK. um, it'd be hilarious if I did this in my tidy whities. Um, Yeah, no, like when I was in Los Angeles, like I'm from Kentucky, like I'm in Lexington, Kentucky, and so here, like things are so small. If there's no sound, then it's probably on you guys. Is anybody having problems hearing me? Well, you guys should be able to hear me fine, but let me know if you guys can't hear me. Um, anyway, I'm from Lexington, Kentucky, you know, and so going to a city as huge as Los Angeles was tough. Like, you know, it was overwhelming. You know, like it was really really overwhelming, and so you know, it took a little bit of getting used to, you know, and there was one point where like I ended up in the hood, like I was going through and the audio is really really bad. Like, is it really laggy? Like, I don't know. Until like a ton of people start complaining, I think we'll be okay. Um, but I was going through and I ended up on like Crenshaw Boulevard, and okay, you can hear me fine. Okay, sound is fine. Cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. And it's just that one guy probably has a really bad connection or something like that. Um, Kevin Smith, friend, sounds like you on this podcast. But I was going through and I ended up on like Crenshaw Boulevard, and that was crazy because I was like, well, I'm turning around, I'll just make a U-turn right over here at like this gas station, and there were like these really seedy looking, you know, I guess group of guys, and I was like, nope, I know nothing about this town, I have no idea where I'm at, you know, and it's not that I thought that they were gonna do anything to me, it's that I just didn't know what was going on, and so I was like, okay, so I just turned around and I bailed out. I was like, I've got to get out of here because, you know, for me, I don't like being in towns, you know, as big as that have so many different people, you know, because you don't know what those people are going to do. You don't know what they think. You know, it's you know, I kind of felt out of my element, you know, and so I turned around and I went, you know, I finally made my way back to the hotel, but yeah, so um, let's see, favorite Marvel multiverse. Well, there's really only one multiverse, but which, by the way, guys, you'll find like the anime stuff is going to be over on Rob Explains now. Um, but yeah, like I mean, my favorite universe in the multiverse is probably from Secret Wars right now. Anyway, it's probably Well, it was. I guess my favorite character is Old Man Logan. My favorite universe is probably the Infinity Gauntlet universe. That universe is really really cool. Like, I really like that idea. So, Deadpool and Thanos. Yeah, Deadpool versus Thanos is hilarious. Like, it's basically like a big fight. They're basically like fighting over Mistress Death, and it's funny. Like, we're definitely gonna cover that story once it finishes. Like, it looks amazing. Um, Hey Rob, first time here. Well, welcome and congratulations. Thank you for showing up here. Like, I hope you enjoy the whole comics and coffee thing. But yeah, thanks for being here. Rob, whose side are you on for Civil War? Iron Man. I'm always on Iron Man's side. Um, where in LA did you stay? I stayed. Actually, yeah, I meant to adjust the audio real quick. Adjust the sound of the audio. Let me turn this up a bit. Mic boost. This might get kind of loud, guys. Be ready. Okay. Um, I stayed at the Ramada Inn in uh, what's the name of that? It's a city that starts with a B. It's like a suburb that starts with a B, and I can't remember what it's called now. But oh god. Anyway, I can't remember what the city was called, but it was like a suburb of LA, and it was cool. My hotel was actually right across the street from Geek and Sundry. So here's a Geek and Sundry thing. So here's what that was. That was super fun. I can't really tell you guys what was going on. I think they had me sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. So I can't really like tell you guys what happened. But the show's gonna be cool. Like, I'm really gonna enjoy it. I will say this: the Geek and Sundry crowd, they're cool. Like, they were really really fun to hang out with. There was this one dude named Hector, and Hector was really fun. Hector was a really really cool guy. Which, by the way, he has a channel called Superhero News, the Superhero News Show. Let me double check and make sure that's right. But let me link you guys to it real quick. Yeah, Superhero News. Here, I'll send you guys a link. But yeah, the Superhero News Show is what it's called. And there's a link right there. It's actually really cool. Like they do all kinds of different news and stuff like that. And they're a really cool group of guys. Like I really like talking to Hector. He was funny. Like if any of you guys caught the live stream of me playing oh, what was it? Playing Hero Clicks with the Geek and Sundry crowd. Like he was the guy who was dressed as Robin. No, I didn't meet Will Wheaton. I wish I had, but I didn't get a chance to meet him. Most powerful comic book weapon. Ooh. I'd say the anti-life equation. The Infinity Gauntlet's really strong because it's destructive, you know, but why would you need to destroy anything if you have the ability to force people to do what you want them to? And so, like, that I think the anti-life equation is ridiculous. Which, by the way, if you guys are curious about the anti-life equation, that's covered under my Dark Side video, I think. But what I'm thinking about doing, something that I'm just kind of kicking around, I may or may not do it, is I'm thinking about launching a series called Comic Book Concepts, where it basically focuses on like elements of comics, like weapons, you know, the Infinity Gauntlet, the Heart of the Universe, the Cosmic Cube, stuff like that. And we've talked about those things over the years, but it'll be a series of videos that really won't need to be any longer than 5 minutes or so. But it'll just basically tell you like, here are what these things are. Here's what they do. Here's why they're important. You know, here's why they matter, so on and so forth. And I thought about doing that, you know, with DC and so on and so forth. Yeah, Bill Finger is finally getting credit, which is about time. For those of you guys who don't know, Bill Finger was one half of the creative group behind Bob Kane, but for decades, and decades, like, Bill Finger never got credit for basically creating Batman. Like, he never got credit for it. It was always Bob Kane. And so, you know, it's kind of like, it's kind of like one of those things that a lot of Batman fans just didn't like. Like, hardcore Batman fans knew that Bill Finger had, like, a major hand in creating Batman, but he was always just kind of robbed. And so now he's finally getting that recognition. So, let's see. Michael Bendis writing a Batman story. I don't know if Michael Bendis is writing a Batman story, but that sounds awesome. Like, I would definitely read it. Let's see. Who do you think would win Goku versus? I'm not touching that. I mean, I'm not touching that. But we know Goku would win. So, hey Rob, when are you gonna do an Infinity War Part 2? I want to see how it ends. So we'll do Infinity War once we get closer to the release date of Infinity War. Like, we'll get back to that. Having said that, I have something very important, like very significant coming down the line that involves one of DC's most iconic characters. It's not the definitive Superman, I'm still working on that, but it involves Superman, and it involves Doomsday, and it involves kind of a hangout with the two of them, where they party, and they fight, and they dance, and two enter, one leaves, or I guess neither leaves, I don't know. But anyway, so I think you guys will take it. I think you guys are, like, I'm gonna have fun making it. So, hey Rob, do you read I've never read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. I have never read. Heroes comes out on the 24th of this month, so it comes out in 4 days. No, I've never read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Supergirl thoughts. I think Supergirl has the potential to be good, but I think it also has the potential to be really campy. See, here's a problem. See, they're going to be walking a tightrope with Supergirl. They're going to have to write it in a way to where it doesn't feel like it's a show. It doesn't feel like a Lifetime special. It doesn't feel like it puts men down and says, like, women are just the greatest thing ever. But it also doesn't feel like it is, you know, ingratiating itself to men and saying that, like, women aren't necessarily as good as men, you know, but it has to make sure that people feel connected to the show. You know, I don't want to watch a show and then be like, women are better than men in every facet, you know, because that's not what feminism is. But I also don't want it to be a show where I feel like it's pointless, or that it's campy, or it's stupid. Supergirl has a great history in DC Comics, and there are a lot of fans that love her character. You know, I'm hoping that they translate that into the show, and they bring that significance of her character into the show. Having said that, I don't even know when the show airs, to be honest. Isn't that pitiful? Like, I don't even know when that show airs. So, who is the most powerful character in the Marvel Universe? The most powerful character, it's arguable. There's like the Living Tribunal, or I guess the One Above All, which is the end-all be-all. But that's the other thing I'm thinking about doing. I'm probably going to launch a series called Omega Level Mutants, or Beyond Omega. Like, I think I might go through the characters who are beyond Omega Level, and then Omega Level Mutants. But there's one kid who has the power to mimic the powers of anybody, up to and including the Living Tribunal, and I think maybe even the One Above All. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he was nigh unstoppable by the time... yeah, it was nuts how ridiculously powerful he was. But Let's see. What's your favorite comic book TV show? Ooh. Hmm. Probably Arrow. No, probably Flash. I think Flash is pretty solid. Right after that, you start getting into. Right after that, you start getting into things like, um, Shield. You start getting into Arrow. You start getting into Daredevil, different things like that. It really kind of debates. Favorite Omega level mutant? Franklin Richards. Like I've always been a big fan of Frank. Well, he's beyond Omega level, so I guess favorite Omega level mutant would probably be Jean Grey. Which, by the way, yes, Dark Phoenix Saga is coming, probably coming next week. Um, the problem is like there's all this stuff finishing right now with Secret Wars, and yeah, so we'll see what's up. Let's see. Moon Knight needs to show up in the Punisher Netflix show. No, he doesn't need to. You don't want that to be. You don't want it to feel like Spider-Man 3, where you have so much going on that it's pandemonium and nothing makes any sense. Like nobody wants to deal with that. Um, let's see. Do you think Cap will die in Civil War? Yes. Thoughts on Tom Holland? I mean, I don't know much. I've never really seen his character act, so I don't know how well he'll portray Spider-Man. But I think he'll do a good enough job. Um, Let's see. Call of Duty or Battlefield? Battlefield. I used to be a hardcore Call of Duty fan. Like I did game battles and everything, but after a while, I just kind of got tired of it, and I stopped. I stopped playing. I just got burned out, lost interest. That being said, I usually just watch other Call of Duty players. Like I'll watch the Marka J and so on, and I'll watch the Loyal Patriots, stuff like that. When he uploads Call of Duty occasionally, but I'll watch that kind of stuff. Um, where was Hulk in Civil War? Planet Hulk was taking place. Uh, Is Apocalypse Omega level? We'll see. Okay, here's a kicker with Omega level, guys, and we'll talk about that in our first video. Like we will outline what Omega level is, and I think we'll just keep that as a constant theme. Like it'll literally be a section of a video that will always be the same throughout every single Omega level video. Omega level is there's two types of Omega level mutants. There's people who were confirmed to be Omega level, and there's people who haven't, but that we know are. Like Storm, for example, was confirmed to be an Omega level mutant. Jean Grey was confirmed to be an Omega level mutant. As far as I know, Magneto was never confirmed to be an Omega level mutant, but we know he is, just because of everything that he's capable of. Apocalypse, with all his power and all his abilities, I don't know if it's ever been confirmed that he was Omega level, although it probably has. Strife is an Omega level mutant, the twin of Cable. There's a lot of characters out there that are Omega level. Mr. M is like a beyond Omega level character. It's really kind of weird when you get into that territory. Thoughts on Jessica Jones? I think Jessica Jones is going to be a really good TV show. Bendis wrote Alias. He wrote the original series that introduced Jessica Jones, and from what he had been saying, the show is incredible. Like it is so close to the original content that it's absolutely mind blowing, and so I'm really hyped about it. Um, let's see. Any opinions on the DCU failing? DCU's not failing. It's not failing by a long shot. Don't be like that. The DCU's fine. It's all look, guys. DC has different names, different catches, different stuff like that. Disregard the title DCU and go with the books that you like. It's really all it comes down to. So, favorite DC characters? Ooh, that's a tough one. I like Superman during Superman Truth. Like I like this Superman Truth. Um, he's a really cool character. I like that he's very weak compared to the way that he used to be, and I think it really changed his perspective of the world, in terms of how he views things, how he views himself in that world. I think it brought him more down to ground level in terms of his powers. That I think is a really cool concept. Jim Gordon Batman is another guy. He's your everyday run-of-the-mill cop. Do the nay-nay? I'm not doing the nay-nay. He's your everyday run-of-the-mill cop that was thrust into impossible circumstances. Jim Gordon Batman comes out of Batman Endgame, and we'll talk about Jim Gordon Batman when we finish Endgame. But it comes directly out of Endgame, and it will his character, I think, is a really cool take on the character of Batman. Of course, Bruce Wayne is coming back because Jim Gordon Batman's just not selling as well as Bruce Wayne did, and there's so much demand for Bruce Wayne to make his return. Because in truth, he's the definitive, you know, he's a definitive character. Kilgrave is purple. He's going to be purple in the TV show. Um, yeah, no one can replace Batman. How would I have written Matthew Malloy? Oh God, that's a good question. I probably should have ended the video that way. Like, here's how I would have ended it. The problem with a character like that, and I imagine, Bendis is not a bad writer, and I didn't, if it came across that I was saying that in the video, that was not my intention. Bendis is an amazing writer. He's got incredible stories under his belt. Like Sal, for example, will swear by Alias. Sal will tell you with his dying breath that Alias is one of the greatest shows of all, or one of the greatest comics of all time. He'll take that to the grave. You know, I think that his back was up against the wall. I think that what he wanted to do was create a character that was unique, that was, well, I guess maybe not really unique, but a character that was interesting, but it had to be self-contained because the multiverse was coming to an end. And even then, within the confines of the story, how do you write a character that continues on with such extreme power? I would have... Truthfully, I would have written him out of the planet. Like, I would have written him out of planet Earth, and I would have made him into a cosmic entity. I would have said that this guy's power is so extreme, that, I guess him as a character, Matthew Malloy would have been like, I'm great, I'm destined for bigger and better things, and kind of write him off, out of the story, and then eventually he comes into contact with Celestials or something like that, and the Celestials are like, we're making you one of us, or something along those lines, something to that effect. Having said that, if... knowing Matthew Malloy exists now, despite the fact that he was introduced after the incursion started, and after, I guess, before Doctor Doom was announced, Hickman's story was great in and of itself. It's probably one of the greatest stories ever told in terms of, time runs out and the lead up to the end of the multiverse. I think it would have been cool to have it circulate around Matthew Malloy. That Matthew Malloy, destroys the Earth 616 reality or something like that, or destroys a different reality and starts the chain of reactions, or his power is so extreme that he basically initiates a chain reaction that ends everything. I don't know, or he represents a reality in and of itself. He destroys eternity, which in turn wipes out that reality. I don't know, but either way, I think it takes a little bit of thinking. It's when it comes to writing stories, guys, and especially when it comes to finishing off stories, it's not as simple as here's what we do and then just ending it like that, because it's tough. So, are you enjoying Dragon Ball Super, Rob? Absolutely. If Jim Carrey was to play someone in the MCU, who would it be? Oh, God. If Jim Carrey were to play somebody in the MCU, I don't know. Off the top of my head, that would take some thinking. That would take some thinking. Did you enjoy Death of the Family? Yes. On a scale of 10 to 15, how many babes do you get on that bed every month? Come on. You know better than to ask a question like that. I will say this, though, the guitar. The guitar plays. The guitar always plays. Let's see, Jim Carrey. No, that wouldn't be good. As Carnage, it'd be too weird. I guess maybe as a crazy person, but there are better people to play a crazy person than Jim Carrey. What are your PC specs? I have an i7 5960X, 32 gigabytes of memory, a GTX Titan X. Yeah, the memory is running at 2133 megahertz, gigahertz, whatever it is. But yeah, so somebody sent a message on. Oh, okay. Let's see. Rob confirmed a ladies' man. Who would win in a? Oh, Matthew Malloy would obliterate the century, no questions asked. What's your favorite New 52 Batman story? Oh God, New 52 Batman favorite story: Court of Owls and Night of Owls, hands down. And here's why. Here's why Court of Owls and Night of Owls is my favorite story in New 52 Batman. Up until that point, and we covered this in that video, up until that point, Batman's villains were run-of-the-mill, and Batman knew their motivations. He knew where they operated out of. Sometimes it was more beneficial to him not to directly go and shut down the Penguin, but to let the Penguin engage in his actions so that he could catch a bigger fish and bring down the Penguin at the same time. He knew where Two-Face operated out of, and while they would change their locations from time to time, at the end of the day, he always knew where to find them. Facing those villains over the course of his publication history, Batman knew everything about Gotham City. With the Court of Owls, it wasn't that way. With Court of Owls, he came across a group that had existed in Gotham under his nose, and he never knew about it. it basically destroyed the belief that Batman knows everything about Gotham City, and that I think is one of the coolest reasons why it was so beneficial. Um, let's see. Dan T. Editor is Carnage. Dan the Editor. I like how that's your all's name for him. Dan the Editor has a huge fan following. It's nuts. People love Dan. It's weird. Let's see. And it was the only good thing about New 52? Not by a long shot. There were some great things about New 52. Let's see. Worldbreaker Hulk versus Thanos. That's a good one. I'd say Worldbreaker Hulk, probably. I mean, will he be able to pummel Thanos? He can't kill him because Thanos is immortal. He can't die. How do I believe the Secret Wars Battle World storyline will end? Oh, man. I think it'll end with the Beyonder energy dispersing, creating a new multiverse. I think Doom will be destroyed. I think Doom being destroyed brings an end to the Fantastic Four. Like, that ends that from that point on out. Marvel can go forward and saying, Fantastic Four is gone forever. We're never bringing them back. And with Doom gone, there's never any chance that they'll ever reform. I think that Molecule Man Owen Reese will become the new Galactus. I think that Battle World will be destroyed in its entirety, and then the universes will start to form themselves after that. The Earth of 616 continuity will reform, or if that's what they call it. You know, I think what they'll do is they'll give us like a line by, at least I hope they'll give us a line by line listing of all the realities. Like, here's this reality, here's that reality, so on and so forth. Give us each of those. I would hope so, but you know, like okay, Sal made a really good point during the Weekly Pool podcast. You know, he said that now is the perfect time for Marvel to be writing a Bible for their comics. You know, with going forward after Secret Wars, it's like the definitive Bible. Every single character, you know, starting with Secret Wars, you know, Miles Morales, Peter Parker, the cast of A-Force, Carol Danvers, the various members of the Carol Corps, you know, all that stuff. Like, make character profiles, like a Bible on those characters. Here's everything you need to know in a 500-page book, you know, that tells you everything about Marvel going forward. You know, that would be an awesome idea, you know. But we'll see what happens. Oh, Doom will not die. It's been confirmed. That sucks. Well, I guess it doesn't really suck, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Zero Issue said, yeah, it does set up for the new. Shout out from Houston. Thank you. Let's see. Hi, Rob. If Doom created Battle World from the multiverse, how did the pieces of the zombie world and Ultron world? Why could it, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe they'll explain. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Let's see. Team Cap or Team Iron Man for Civil War? Iron Man. Spider-Man needs to be in the MCU. He will be. Like, he's definitely going to be in the MCU. He's getting a movie. Like, they pushed a bunch of movies back to make room for his movie. Man, you should do a superhero cartoon. I don't know about that. Can you get part of my underwear? That's weird. Do you know who watches your channel? No, I don't know who all watches my channel. I know, like, you guys and normal fans watch my channel, but I don't know who watches my videos. YouTube doesn't let me see, like, the individual channels that watch my video, or watch each one of my videos. Hold on a second. Somebody asked a question about lightsabers. I love lightsabers. If you have a lightsaber, how would I make it? Oh, God, if I could have a lightsaber? Man, I'd have the most OP lightsaber. Okay, here's my question to you guys. How many of you all played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? Like, that's my question. Because there were some OP lightsabers. Like, my lightsaber would be Viridian. Like, it would be the Viridian color lightsaber, which was like an awesome, like, silverish green color. And then, like, I'd be light side. You know, I'd be on the light side of the Force. And so my lightsaber would give me the ability to temporarily, like, corrupt the wills of the dark side, and then make it easier to kill them. Having said that, like, it wouldn't be overpowered in the sense that it would, like, break, you know, destroy, like, Sith lightsabers. That wouldn't be very cool, you know. Let's see. You played it? Yeah. Yeah, see, all you guys played it. Like, you guys know what's up. You guys know what's up. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was amazing. Yeah, I own it. Yeah, I have it on Steam. Like, it's such a good game. Knights of the Old Republic was insane. Yes, it was. I remember getting so swept up in that game when it first came out. Like, I spent so much time playing it. Who's going to fight in Civil War? And where is... Oh, I have no idea where Hulk is in Civil War. He's on Earth somewhere, but probably in hiding. The Walking Dead versus Comics versus the Show is a weekly series, but it'll stop once we get to the community. You know, it's just designed to kind of cover stuff. It's just a side project that I had going on. Um, let's see. Uh, Favorite weapons of choice: lightsaber, the green turtle shell, and Babam. Oh, those are your favorite weapons of choice. Oh, okay, that's cool. Um, Adam Warlock solo book. He'll probably get one when it gets closer to whatchamacallit, to Civil War, but or I guess to Infinity War, but I don't think he'll get one until then. Um, let's see. Are you playing Metal Gear? No, I'm not playing Metal Gear. um, you guys are okay. Do you think Ultron's conclusion, the time travel and stuff, is lazy storytelling too? I'm curious because it leads up to the multi. No, here's the thing, guys. Like when it comes to like Age of Ultron, like those big crossover events, like basically everything from Age of Ultron going forward, Age of Ultron, Avengers versus X-Men, all that kind of stuff. Like all those stories, Original Sin, all those went towards Secret Wars. Like they were all building up to Secret Wars, and so they all ended a very particular way. Like I wouldn't say it was lazy storytelling. There are some who will. There are some that say that story was absolute garbage, but I don't think it was. You know, I thought it was a pretty well told story. I thought it was pretty fun to read. Um, do I watch Avengers Assemble? No. Um, do I think the One Above All will ever be in the MCU? No, I doubt that. Rob, please. I only buy trades on your recommendation. Which Justice Leagues are worth buying? Ooh, okay. So Justice League. Justice League is a mismatch. Really, you don't need to buy everything on Justice League. You don't need to, no, not by a long shot. Buy the trades for issues 1 through 6, or I guess the trades for Darkseid's appearance. Like that's basically what it is. Like it's issues 1 through 6, maybe 1 through 7. You'll be able to find that trade somewhere, and then stop. And that's all you need. For Darkseid Wars and all that kind of stuff, that's the only thing you need. So just go with that, you know, and then just literally jump into Darkseid War. You'll find out everything you need to know as it progresses. Let's see, Superboy Prime versus Doomsday. Superboy Prime, definitely. Let's see. Would I rather have the Force, or be a Super Saiyan? Oh, I take the Force any day of the week. Um, let's see, what games do you own at the moment? Destiny, Skyrim, and then whatever games I have on Steam. Let's see. Favorite member of the Justice League? Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Like, I love the ability to create things using a ring, to use my imagination to create all those different things. So, who's your all's favorite character of the Justice League? That's a good question for you guys. Who's your favorite character in the Justice League? Um, Let's see. Favorite comic artist? Jay Lee. Jay Lee has the best comic art on the face of the planet. It's abstract, but it's like dark at the same time. Like go read the Century 5 issue run or 6 issue limited series, whatever it is. That's Jay Lee's art, and it is unbelievable. Actually, here let me find some of Jay Lee's art for you guys. It's actually pretty spectacular. God, this song is amazing. Jay Lee art. It's a really cool looking. Here you go, the art of Jay Lee. He's got his own website, artwork. Here you go. The art of Jay Lee. Yeah, Batman, Martian Manhunter. Wow. Charmander. Charmander would be a beastly member of the Justice League. Do I think Green Lantern will ever appear on Flash and Arrow? I hope so, because we've seen Coast City mentioned before. Like we know it exists, so like we've seen the sign for that city, so we know that Hal Jordan exists within that reality. I hope we see him in the future. You know, I hope we see something later on down the line. I don't know if we will or not, but I still think it'd be a really cool idea. Let's see. Do you think we should get a Star Wars Marvel Heroes comic? We would get a Star Wars Marvel. Oh, like a crossover between Star Wars and the Marvel comic? I doubt it. I doubt we'll see that. I mean, it'd be cool if we did, but I don't think we will. Let's see. Who will fight Doctor Doom at the end of Secret Wars? Also, oh, okay, we've already talked about Secret Wars already. What do you think will be in the Deadpool movie? Well, you got Ajax off the top of my head, and Ajax was a short-lived character. He only lasted for like 17 issues or something like that. He wasn't in it very long actually, but he was a main foe of Daredevil, or I guess of Deadpool, in his first series. under damn, under man, Joe Kelly. There we go. My mind just. He was Deadpool's main enemy under Joe Kelly. I mean, you got Copycat. You got. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be based on Joe Kelly's character, Joe Kelly's run of the character. All the characters that popped up in there look like they're going to be part of it. I don't think we'll see Mistress Death or anything like that yet. I think we'll see some cool stuff, but yeah, I don't think we'll see like Mistress Death or anything along those lines. You know, having said that, that movie is going to explode and it's going to do really, really well. And Marvel needs to find a way to get Deadpool into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because could you imagine that? Could you imagine Deadpool in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, wouldn't that be hilarious? Like the Avengers are fighting, or there's some like major conflict in Captain America 3, and Deadpool like shows up after the fight's over. You know, like that'd be hilarious. Are you going to be reading the new Squadron Supreme series? Not a chance. Uh, um, let's see. Ever had a fight? Yeah, I used to get in fights when I was a kid. I mean, not routinely, but you know, when I was a kid, back when we were younger, and I think there's something to be said about how far school systems have changed over the years. But when I was a kid, you know, when I was in middle school, like school was like prison. Like you had to go in there and you had to immediately establish that people couldn't give you a hard time. You know, it doesn't mean you went in there and picked a fight immediately, but it means that somebody walked up on you and started challenging you. Like you had to stick up for yourself, you know, and you had to fight them. You know, either you fought them in school or you fought them after school. You know, but you know that's how things were when I was younger. Let's see. Based on your personality, if you were in the Lantern Corps, which Lantern Corps would I be in? Oh God, which Lantern Corps would I be in? Man. Which Lantern Corps would I be in? I might make a video about that just for fun. Like, I'll just preface it and just be like, you know what, guys, this video is just for fun. Like, I'm gonna make a video about that. You know, which Lantern Corps would I choose? Or which Lantern Corps would you be in? Is probably what I'll title it, and get your all's opinion on what you guys think, like which Lantern Corps you would join. We're gonna wait for that one. Question got answered. See, why do you see that amazes me? How come you guys get so surprised when you guys show up to a weekly Q&A and your question gets answered? Like it kind of blows me away. I guess maybe because I don't have time to answer every single question, but you know, did I win the fights? I mean, I've won some fights and I lost some fights. I mean, that was the issue. Okay, look, guys, fighting's never an answer to solving your problems. The issue was letting people know you weren't a person that could be messed around with or easily picked on. You know, establishing like you as a person stood up for yourself regardless of the circumstances, that you always made sure people knew that you had confidence in yourself. You know, that's what it was about. It was building confidence, you know, dealing with bullies, you know, whether it's dealing with them right now, you know, or whether it is, you know, I guess dealing with them with the way they're done now in terms of like, you know, trying to rationalize with them or something like that, or whether it was the way it was done when I was a kid, you know, and fighting them. It's not about physical force. It's about confidence. Because as you grow, when you deal with bullies, when you face bullies, it gives you the confidence to know that you can face situations that are otherwise daunting and overwhelming. That's the purpose of confronting bullies. It's not about fighting them. It's not about beating them up. That's, you know, half measure. You know, it's about building confidence in yourself and giving yourself the belief that you can face almost anything. Let's see. Because a celebrity answered your question. I'm not a celebrity by a long shot. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Rob Senpai noticed me. Who will fight Wolverine in Old Man Logan in the Old Man Logan based film? I don't know, but I'm really, really excited for that. I'm. They're not going to have the Hulk. Obviously, they're not going to be able to feature his character, just because you know Fox has nothing to do with the Hulk. You know, it's. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I have no earthly clue. Magneto maybe, but it's hard to tell, you know, because they haven't really focused. I mean, they had like Silver Samurai, you know, but that Silver Samurai from the comic or from the movie, you know, Wolverine Origins was garbage, you know, and so I have no idea what they're going to be doing now. They haven't really focused on Wolverine's rogues gallery, you know, they haven't focused on his individual villains. Maybe they will, you know, I have no idea, but do I play Magic the Gathering? No. Have I played the new Destiny expansion? Yes. Um, do you like Debbie cakes? Hell yeah, I do. Let me tell you, a man does not get to my girth by eating healthy. um, you think you might be a Blue Lantern? That's awesome. Let's see. Trying to watch it, but Fast and the Furious. um, I came down with a cold after I got back from Los Angeles, so that sucks. How old were you when you got your first comic? 11. Um, Rob, in the new reboot, are there going to be multiverses again, or just 616? There's going to be multiverses. They're going to be different universes. Um, let's see. How do you feel about a Hulk kills the Marvel Universe story? I would read the hell out of that story. Hulk kills the Marvel Universe? Definitely. Um, let's see. Who should play Blue Beetle and Booster Gold in the DCU movie? It should be silly. Okay, Jim Carrey could play one of the characters. He could play like Blue Beetle, and then Booster Gold. I have no idea. um, let's see. No, yeah, no, I don't play. I don't play Magic. What do you think of Michael Jai White playing Cyborg? He's the same guy that played Spawn. No, he's too old to play Cyborg. You know, Cyborg needs to be a younger character. If we were talking about Flashpoint Cyborg, sure, but no. And no, I'd say no, not by a long shot. Chrono Trigger for the win? Yes. Chrono Trigger was so good. Chrono Cross was really good too. If any of you guys ever played that game, it was the PlayStation sequel to Chrono Trigger. Um, Biggest difference between Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel? Well, Captain Marvel gained her powers from the Psych Magnetron, which basically made it so that she had all the same powers as Marvel of the Kree. Um, Miss Marvel is an Inhuman who was woken up, who gained her Inhuman abilities as a result of the Terrigen Mist expanding throughout the world from the fallout of Infinity and Inhumanity. And she donned the outfit of Miss Marvel, or I guess she adopted the name of Miss Marvel because she idolized Carol Danvers. Uh, what am I going to read post Secret Wars? Well, I'm going to pick up everything at first. I'm going to read everything right off the bat. How's the gym going? Cranking along as always. Sup, Rob? What's up? What do you think of Infinity Gauntlet 4? I haven't read it yet, to be honest. Let's see. How do you feel about Fox's version of Apocalypse? He looks fine to me. Okay, look, guys. He was covered in purple. Like, if you look at the newer images now, he's blue. Like, imagine that. People were freaking out. Like, oh my god. You know, like they were so focused on the fact that he looked purple, they didn't take the time to look at the picture and realize that everybody in the picture was purple, which is kind of weird. But let's see. Talk about Star Wars, explaining the difference between the dark side. Oh, don't worry, guys. Like, when we get towards December on Rob Explains, you'll get more Star Wars content than you can handle. I promise you. Like, it'll be a Star Wars month. Like, there's gonna be so much Star Wars stuff coming out of that. The origin of the Jedi, the origin of the Sith, the Great Hyperspace War, the first time they fought. The lead up to whatchamacallit, you know, there's going to be all kinds of Star Wars content on Rob Explains. Let's see. Who should be the villain in Spider-Man movies? Ooh. Honestly, I don't want to see the Lizard. I don't want to see Dr. Octopus. God, for God's sake, I do not want to see the Green Goblin. Jesus Christ. I'm so tired of seeing Norman Osborn. Sandman would be a great villain. He's difficult to face. He's not a run-of-the-mill villain. He's solid. You know what? Better than that, Mysterio. I'd want to see Mysterio. Who do you guys want to see for Spider-Man's villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? That's my question. Like, who do you guys want to see? PS4, Xbox One, or PC? Well, it depends on the game. PC is better for games like Skyrim because there's so many mods. Let's see. PS4 I like because of Destiny, and Xbox One I like because of Minecraft. Are you going to get Battlefront? No, I'm not going to get Battlefront. Let's see. Kraven. Wow, so many people want to see Kraven. Venom and Carnage would be a good one. The Shocker. What do you think about Agent Venom? Thoughts on Doctor Strange, Rhino, Mysterio? I never really got into Agent Venom. I never really read much about Agent Venom. I never got into his character. Let's see. Who do you who would you like to play Jon Stewart? Oh God. You know, that would be a good role. That okay, if I had it my way, like Idris Elba would play Jon Stewart, but you know he is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I don't know how his contract works. I don't know if I don't know if he signed a contract saying that he can't go work for DC. I have no idea. If he didn't, and he can work for DC, and we're really not going to see him anymore, which we'll probably see him in Ragnarok, but if we don't see him after that, I would say definitely have him play Jon Stewart. Let's see. What comic book should I buy about Captain America? There's actually a comic book launching right now called Captain America White, which, as far as I know, deals with the history of Captain America. Like, it's going to be the definitive Captain America story. Also, the death of Captain America is really good. Let's see. Metal Gear Solid explaining the different snakes. I may end up doing that on Rob Explains. See, the cool thing about Rob Explains, guys, is it's just kind of like this catch-all. You know, it's like Comic Story and TV, basically. Like, if you guys don't know what Comic Story and TV is, that's Benny's branch off from Comic Storian, where it's kind of a catch-all for a bunch of different things, which you guys should sub to it. He's trying to race to 100,000 subscribers, and he's going to do a 24-hour live stream if he gets to it. So you guys should definitely check that out. But Rob Explains is like my version of Comic Story and TV, basically. You know, it's kind of a catch-all. You know that encompasses a lot of different things. So, Silver Sable, like Silver Sable, she's a weird character. Let's see. Do you think Marvel should reboot? If so, how would you do it and what would you change? Well, they are. They're doing it with Secret Wars. Let's see. What's an awesome Deadpool story to pick up? The Deadpool Killogy. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool Killustrated, and Deadpool kills Deadpool. Those are definitely worth checking out. Let's see. Who should play Adam Warlock? I don't know. See, that's the tough thing about characters like the Adam Warlock, characters like that, is it's difficult to like think off the top of my head who should play those, because there's a lot of different actors out there, a lot of whom are capable, but some of whom are terrible. In truth, for all intents and purposes, like I think Paul Bettany would have been a really good Adam Warlock, but he's playing the Vision. He's playing the Vision, so that's difficult. Let's see. Actually, hey guys, look, it's almost 1:30. I need to finish working on this Batman Endgame video so I can get that video out today. But I'm gonna go grab some lunch. I'm gonna come back here, finish working on that video, and yeah. So I'm gonna bounce off here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming out again. Make sure you guys check out Rob Explains, and of course you'll find a link in the description. But here is also the link in case you guys are interested in checking it out. That's my channel where I basically explain things outside of comic books. You know, it's a kind of a catch-all for a bunch of different stuff. Star Wars and Donald Trump and the lightsaber colors and all different kinds of stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Peace. I think. Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. I left the thing. Okay. I'll be peacing out here in a second. Here shortly. Maybe, kind of. I forgot to. Okay. Peace.